Hello everyone, this is Colhan here. This is going to be a theory video, same as the last video I did relating to the One Piece manga. Just like the last one, if you haven't read the current chapter, which is chapter 594 of One Piece, if you haven't read that yet, go to whatever site you prefer to read this stuff at and take a look at it before viewing this video, because there's going to be spoilers. Okay, so I read the manga, came to my own conclusions before going and taking a look at what other people thought of it. And with that, I want to tell you what what my conclusion is, and then bring up my own arguments against other people's theories. Because it seems that some people have come to the same conclusion I have, others have come up with similar ones, and I just want to voice my opinions on those. Now, also, this is a theory. I'm not going to be right, possibly, who knows. As we all know, Oda is incredibly hard to predict, so what I say might not be right. I'm not going to claim that I am right and that what I'm thinking is the only way to look at this. You guys can look at it yourself, come to your own conclusions, and post it as a video response or in the comments, or you could PM me, just whatever you choose to. But anyway, here's the deal. Luffy, Jinbei, and Silverales appeared at Manford, the place that Whitebeard and Ace were killed at, and the whole war took place. They returned there, and they circled around Marineford once, and then Luffy came into the island on his own, rang the ox bell 16 times, and then threw flowers around, and put his hat to his chest as if in a silent prayer. The picture was taken and put in the newspaper in the One Piece manga. Now, this was done. This was all planned by Silverales. As we all know, Silverales is the first ex-first mate of former Pirate King Goldie Roger. He was the one who thought up this plan, after not agreeing that Luffy should return to Shibuya Pego to re-meet up with his crewmates, because he said the same thing would happen all over again. You'd all get your butts kicked. So he instead asked Luffy if he wanted to go through with this plan he thought of, and this was the plan. And it was mostly done as the whole memorial thing that was basically going on. You know, like circling Manford was a traditional thing for a burial at sea, and him praying like that and throwing flowers. That's pretty much showing that he was trying to mourn the deaths. That was all done as a cover-up in order to give a message to the Straw Hats. And one of the biggest things that are being discussed is what that message was. And here's what I came up with before going on to the forums. I took a closer look at the photo of Luffy that went in the newspapers. I took a closer look at that. And I noticed he had a tattoo on his arm, or maybe it's just marker or something drawn on his bandages. I don't know. But it's there. There's something written there. And at first I just thought, oh, maybe he just put Ace's tattoo on his arm as further of a tribute. Until I took a closer look and saw that it didn't look the same. I even wrote on a piece of paper the way Ace's tattoo looked, and then folded in half, because with the tattoo all you see is half of whatever is written there, and it didn't look the same. So I took it into Photoshop, zoomed in on it, and took a closer look. To me, it looks like SO, and the SO is crossed out, and 2 and a Y. SO crossed out, the number 2 and a Y. And I think this is part of the message, along with everything else Luffy did for the whole thing that Rallis planned. And here's what I think the message is. Crossing the whole crossing out of SO. I think that stands for Shaboyagapego, or whatever that place is that the Thousand Sunny is now marooned at. I've never found out how you pronounce that place's name. Anyway, I think it stands for do not go to Shaboyagapego. And circling around Marineford, I think that was trying to say go to Marineford instead. And the whole the 2 and the Y I think stands for 2 years. And 16 bells, it stands for New Year's. As a matter of fact, it's even a real life thing. In real life, it is a tradition to ring a ship's bell 16 times on New Year's. So I think the message is, don't go to Shaboyagapego. We will meet together again in 2 years at Marineford on New Year's Day. That's what I think the message is. The other thing, and this is a bit of a stretch, so don't take this last part too seriously, but 16 bells also has another meaning. Not as mostly used as the New Year's thing, but it's still used for this too. 16 bells can also mean the location of a shipwreck, so I'm guessing this is how the Thousand Sunny is going to get to them. Maybe telling the other people who are watching over the ship at Shaboyagapego, or the people that they know there, like Shiki and Kami and Hachi and the others, maybe telling them to dismantle the ship and bring it to Manford for them to build back up, and then they'll sail to Merman Island. Anyway, that's what I think is the message. Now, a couple of people have come to this conclusion, but they haven't thought of where would they go to instead of Shaboyagapego. My thought is Marineford because of the whole circling around thing. Some people, some of the arguments are, how could it say that? Why would it be written in English? It's a Japanese manga. I would like to point out, and I'm not being smart here, I'm really not, but I have to wonder if these people really pay attention to a lot of the stuff that appears in the manga. Because if you look really closely, there is a lot of English writing in One Piece on the spines of books, on shop signs when they're in villages or little towns. Heck, even on the bounty posters. And there is a method of writing their names in Japanese, but it's not written on their bounty posters like that, and it's not something fan translators put in there, and it's not something the professional translator at Viz does. It's written in English even in the raw. Look around. One Piece is probably the one Japanese manga I have ever seen to use so much English in it. I have never seen any other manga use that much English in it for everything. So that's what I have to say against the whole it can't be something English because it's a Japanese manga. We see plenty of English in One Piece, in the One Piece manga, plenty of times. The other argument I hear is, why on earth would they wait 2 years? Because they need to train. Even Rallis said to Luffy, before the whole plan even started. Do you want to go back there and have your asses kicked again? Because that's what's going to happen. They are not ready to cross over the red line and go into the new world. And we've already seen glimpses of the new world around the end of this chapter. It's insane. And we've only seen some weather-related things. Remember that island completely covered in lightning? And other stuff, you know? The other big-time rookies all got, you know, screwed up except for, Kid? I believe it was Kid, yeah. He strung those guys up as if they were being crucified. I don't think they're ready. I think they need training in order to do... And also, this is kind of evident from what Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, said. When Strong World, the movie that I think it already came out. I think it recently came out. I'm not sure. That's the newest One Piece movie that came out. Oda said in reference to this, Strong World will be the last adventure Luffy has at 17. So I'm guessing time skip. And time skip of 2 years. By 2 years' time, Luffy will not be 17 anymore. He will be 19. And he will have 2 years of training under his belt, courtesy, hopefully, of Silver Raleigh. And I think, and also, where all the Straw Hats are right now, they're able to get training in what they need in the places that they are. It would also make sense of what Nami's little comment was, you know, that Luffy is selfish and he's not thinking of the crew. Because 2 years is a pretty long time, and I guess also she said, you know, we kind of want to be there with you because of, you know, you're getting over your brother's death and everything. At least that's what I come across, think of with Nami's mentioning. Also, Vivi wondered about a fashion statement with Luffy, which was my thoughts towards the tattoo being part of the message. Yeah, so those are my views on the whole thing. I think the message is that they won't be going to Shambo-Yagapego. They'll be meeting in Manford. They will meet there 2 years from this time on New Year's Day. And my guess of how they will get the ship there is for the second meeting towards the 16 Bells, which is dismantle the ship, bring it there, we'll build it back up, bring all our stuff back into it, and head there. And Marineford would be the last freaking place that those guys would show up also. I mean, think about it, they're pirates. That would be the least known place that people would think to look for the Straw Hats hiding out. You know, meeting up, I mean. So that's even better. And, what else was I gonna say? Damn it, I lost my train of thought. But, yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole thing. That's what I think is happening and going on. That's my arguments towards some of the things people have said. Again, let me know what you guys think. Do you, think the same thing? Do you have your own ideas of what's going on? What are your thoughts on it? I'm very curious to know what you guys think. With that, I will see you all in the next video, and take care, everyone.